up here?
I forgot my coffee. Well, we made it. Look,
Hey!
like 2 blocks we made it.
We just came around the front of the hotel with a coffee cup on the back of the car. It's hard to do things before coffee.
I'm putting it in the cup.
You can take your mask off. You were smiling with your mask. It's not even a still photo.
I was under my mask going.
So where are we going?
Okay, Albuquerque, New Mexico. We should arrive in 12 hours and 26 minutes, 797 miles.
Okay, let's do this thing.
Okay, so in Kansas, some major tourist attractions took our attention.
Yes, we did do some touristing in Kansas. Kansas is a long state to drive across. So we're driving across Kansas and we went to the
Dalton Gang Hideout, which it was so funny because we kept seeing the signs and I'm like, we can't go more than like 10 miles off of our route because this will just mess us up. And I had been there with my daughter years ago, but I couldn't remember if we took a long journey off of the interstate or not. And it said like 30 miles on one of them, and all of a sudden it was 5 miles, which meets the requirements of a stop. So we stopped at the Dalton Gang Hangout or Hideout, and it's weird, but it was kind of cool, wasn't it?
It's cute. It was fun. It was cute. We, the $5, we walked through the tunnel. We looked around at antique things and saw 2-headed cows and a bunch of taxidermy animals that we really didn't need to see, and all sorts of Western things.
And please take this moment to observe barbed wire.
Many, many different types of barbed wire. I had no idea there were so many types of barbed wire.
Again, had you not taken that trip, I mean, your life is forever changed.
My life is forever changed knowing how many types of barbed wire there are.
So in this place, though, it was the coolest part. Well, one was the gentleman who was working there.
He was a sweetheart.
And the story of the Dalton Gang, but there is a tunnel that goes from the house to the barn.
Yeah.
So that they could jump on their horses.
And ride away and escape. Ooh. Cold down here.
Ooh. Like I didn't believe you.
It's all nice and paved now, but I bet it wasn't then.
No, and it's not freaking me out at all, honestly. Just getting a little freaked out.
I just can't get over how icy cold it is. Must be those ghosts. This is so cute. Look at all that stuff that we don't know how to use. We would not have survived as women in this age.
I have one of those. I have the apple core. Oh, is my fingers in the shot? I have an apple core. I have a rolling pin.
Do you know how to use it?
The apple core?
The rolling pin?
Yes, you hit people who piss you off.
That's
They're
exactly
annoying
right.
friends.
That's exactly right. machine.
Oh my God.
And yet, you'd be very grateful to have that. Look at that dress. You decide to sleep in the basement, that's what you're gonna have to use.
And what was the neatest part of this is it all ties back into LA and Hollywood because one of the Dalton gangs survived and ended up coming out to Hollywood and working on Western movies.
There you go. Back on the road, we continued through Kansas and eventually we got to Liberal, Kansas. Continuing on, we went to Liberal, Kansas, which is the home of Dorothy's house.
There are just so many
Well,
things
Dorothy's
about
house, we have to go. Got a Liberal van there.
Oh, there they are.
This is it.
It's
We're getting
the
to
lion and the scarecrow.
Dorothy's house, though we're not really sure she actually shot anything here in Liberal, but maybe.
Do we park in the canyon?
I don't know. Yeah, they have parking places.
Dorothy's gift shop. There's Dorothy. Just gonna park right here. Oh, the Yellow Brick Road.
Oh boy, this is going to be a big
How
adventure.
buried are your pink shoes?
They're pretty buried.
Damn.
I know.
Oh.
And so we visited Dorothy's house. We did not pay the admission to take the tour. We just walked around the outside, got a little stretch of our legs, and took some fun pictures.
And the sky at that point was turning dark. And
Yep.
I've lived in I grew up in the Midwest, so I left Iowa when I was 18, and I've gone back a couple of times in there. But it almost looked tornado-y. Like it had those drop-down clouds if you've ever been around tornado weather. It hadn't turned quite green yet, but it was the dark gray.
Yeah.
And it was ominous.
And it was windy. I'm a little concerned with how windy it is. I'm a little afraid of tornadoes, so maybe we should hit the cellar. Which is obviously not really a cellar. It's completely sealed shut. There ain't nothing there. But if there is a cellar, it's not under there. Who knows?
And by the way, the Yellow Brick Road is there. And the Tin Man was my favorite.
Yes, the Tin Man was good. The Cowardly Lion left something to be desired.
And Monique did try to go into the cellar because the weather was getting bad, but we didn't pay the admission.
No. So, no in the cellar. No cellar for me.
So off we went.
Off we went. We continued through. We passed briefly through Oklahoma on Route 66. Didn't make any stops in Oklahoma that I can think of. And sometimes I drive.
Hey, did your eyebrows get darker since this morning?
Yes, they did. They're getting very dark. They're astoundingly dark. We did pass through Texas.
A teensy bit.
Just a teensy little corner of Texas, and then we dropped into New Mexico. And it was really interesting seeing how the landscape changed throughout the country.
Sorry. I'm fine. This is why you're in charge of signs.
I'm in charge of signs.
Sorry. Sign fail. We're in New Mexico.
We're in New Mexico now.
This is New Mexico.
Yeah, it's so different from Texas.
Yeah, and Kansas.
Yeah. It actually is different from Kansas.
Yeah, true.
It's quite a bit different from
And
Kansas.
definitely different from Iowa.
Way different from Iowa.
Yeah. And, well, here's a highway marker. It's the best I can do.
I know a lot of you who watch are not in the U.S., and it was really, really wonderful to drive Route 66. And if you ever come to the U.S., I do recommend it. It's a great way to see a whole bunch of different landscapes that the U.S. offers. It was really pretty. It started to feel a little homier to me when we got into New Mexico.
And you can also see what it was like. So growing up, I always thought I would move to California eventually. I thought I would go to Nashville and be a country singer and then end up in California. And bits of that came true. A minute as a country singer, and then I ended up in California. But you can see how I had never seen. Like I kept saying to you, it's Purple Mountain's Majesty. When you're a little kid in the Midwest and you sing that song and you say Purple Mountain's Majesty, I have no idea why we would say that. Why would you think mountains were purple? You get to New Mexico,
Purple Mountains.
it's just, and as it goes, and because you're on Route 66 and it's so nostalgic, and because I took it the other way by myself, I think the neatest thing was to then do it with someone else so you can talk about it. Because I had done it all by myself, and Binks was a great companion, but she didn't help drive, and she didn't really answer back.
She didn't carry her shit into the room.
No, that's what I was just gonna. And every time, every hotel we went to, they probably all thought we were the crazy, because every time they would say, "Do you have any pets?" And we would both say, "Nope, just her," and she would meow every time.
And they'd always go.
And there were a couple of times when I may or may not have, I had touched my phone, and I was not texting, I touched my phone. She meowed at me. And there was a time when I don't know, I scared you somehow. I was like going too fast or something, new. Okay. So anyone outside of this circle would think you probably think we're totally crazy. But every time she would do it, it like made my heart happy, because I'm like, you get that I was mourning Binks and also rejoicing how cool and wonderful Binks was, but also like it's time for me to interact with humans. So, and I know a lot of people lost pets during the pandemic. I've heard a lot of
people lost people.
Yeah.
And that's a grief. Well, that's a grief we're not going to touch on in this video.
Right. And again, we know, I mean, we can't know what you went through. But I hope that this kind of gives you kind of closure too. I mean, like that we're moving on. Because I think that was the biggest thing. The lesson in it was call your friends.
Yeah.
Like talk to your friends about stupid songs that you loved when you were a kid or whatever, but connect with your friends.
And reach out. Too often we feel like we need to, I'm miserable and I'm unhappy and I'm going to just sort of
well, and I would do the no one wants to hear me right now because I'm just grumpy and no fun to talk to.
Or, I don't want to do a FaceTime because I look terrible and I don't want to, it's like, your girlfriends don't care what you look like.
Well, you can see in this video, we did not wear makeup for 4 days.
I had a pimple patch on my face. I'm like, I don't care.
Those things are amazing. Amazing.
Nobody believes me. They're amazing.
Like life-changing.
Yeah.
And again, we're in the car. We didn't need... But so okay, how far did we get now? We're just getting into New Mexico. We were realizing that we probably were not going to make it all the way to Albuquerque because the sun was going down, and we just, you were driving along and I'm flipping open the phone. Yelp, what towns are we coming to? Great, let's get a room there. Hotels.com, boom. That's how we roll. Yeah, and it's always good, like it's funny that I say we pulled up to them before we booked them, but as we moved on in the trip and we got to Needles,
yes.
Maybe we were tired, maybe our judgment was starting to just...
That was a 14-hour drive day.
That was a long day.
We drove for 14 hours. Okay, so let's back up. Second night, we stayed in Tucumcari. At Tucumcari, there was a restaurant there, and we thought, even though neither of us is really hungry because we stopped at Subway on the way, let's get a salad because we're traveling and you kind of need to have some roughage.
I had by then eaten almost the whole bag of Twizzlers.
At one point we had a whole Twizzler red vine.
This could be like a commercial. We could show you the Twizzler red vine competition.
We should do that.
Okay,
here's our tasting of. The sound quality in the car is terrible, so please forgive. Now, some people may or may not know this, but there is a coastal difference in whatever we call these things, twists, vines, whatever. But East Coast people and Midwest people, they like them Twizzlers. Us West Coasters, We're all about the red vines. Ain't no movie set I ever been on doesn't have movie red vines. Big thing of red vines on Crafty. So yeah, we have the Iowa girl gonna have the Twizzlers, and the California girl gonna have the red vines, and we're gonna have a Twizzler off. Whoa, what?
Well,
I mean, what is the generic? I know, but what is the generic term for both of these? Because neither of them contains licorice.
Are they twists?
They're twists.
They're both twists.
They're both twists. So we're gonna have a twist off. It is a twist off. Hey, that takes wine.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. No, it's too early for wine. Okay. I got a Twizzler. I got a red wine. Okay. What do you think?
These aren't bad. They do remind me of movie sets in LA. I just like the Twizzlers better. I'm sorry. They're in yours.
Oh, you don't have a hole in a Twizzler?
Oh, not really. It's a much smaller hole.
Okay, so you cannot use a Twizzler as a straw.
I was literally thinking that.
Of course you were. Of course you were.
I mean, you can use it as a straw. It's just a much smaller.
You're gonna have to
straw.
suck
This is a
really
huge
hard.
Straw, yeah.
But a Twizzler makes, red vine makes an excellent straw. And I highly recommend it with, like, vodka lemonade.
Gosh, I was just. Everything goes with vodka. Vodka goes with everything. I really can't believe I'm about to say this.
What are you about to say?
The red vine's not bad.
Thank you.
They definitely taste different.
Okay, I'm gonna put the phone down and I'm gonna taste it for myself.
Okay.
Okay, you got the red vine, you got the Twizzler. Let's take a Twizzler bite. It's like it's definitely trying to be a fruit flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a fruit flavor, but it's trying to be. The chewy part is thinner, sweeter.
In which one?
The red vine just tastes like pure
Sugar.
corn syrup.
Yeah. High fructose corn syrup. Right?
Yeah. High fructose corn syrup. It really doesn't taste like fruit, and yet somehow I prefer it. So we are not going to be sharing the twists. She will have her twists, and I will have my twists. And that is just perfectly acceptable.
This is pretty. Gorgeous. Okay,
So we had a salad in Tucumcari, and apparently nobody in that kitchen has ever eaten a salad in their life because they drowned it in dressing. It was so much dressing. It was painful to eat. I mean, it hurt my mouth.
and I'm from Iowa, so we use way more dressing than California people. It hurt my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, it was just bad. And then the other thing is, not that we're big on, so neither of us are, we get that white wine should be chilled. I'm not that big on it. Like, I can deal.
But they didn't have any freaking ice.
So we did get ice from the hotel restaurant, took it back to our room, but that was the Iowa wine.
Yeah, so let me back up on the ice situation. So, get to our room, and first thing we do is get ice, chill the wine. We went to the ice machine. It had been winterized, and we could not get ice. It was closed down. They had another ice machine. We went to the other ice machine. It was overused and was out of ice. So we went to the restaurant and asked them to get ice, give us ice, and maybe I'll
Okay,
get them.
I wish we would have had video though, because this was classic. First, I walk up to a girl who does not work there. She was lovely, by the way, and she had her mask on, and so I said, "Hey, we need ice," and she was like,
I don't work here.
So we had a nice conversation with her. She was going to Oklahoma.
I was like, you're not going to help us much, are you?
She laughed then. Like
We had fun.
We ended up befriending the extra person. She was lovely. But it was so funny because Monique had the ice bucket down to her side. Because I guess, I mean, why would you hold it out when you're asking for ice? But gosh, I wish we would have had the video running because it was so funny. The gal that works at the restaurant, Monique, was like, could you get us some ice? And she was like, yes, but I need an ice bucket or something. And literally it was like magic. All of a sudden she's like, with the ice bucket. It was, and even our new friend kind of giggled because it was
Like,
hilarious.
like this.
I don't know. We were
I
not
guess
that tired and easily
it may have been funnier than it really was.
in our history together, which is now
6 years?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe a little
7.
more. We don't leave wine on the table. We don't leave wine not consumed.
Clearly, we are not people who leave
no.
wine on the table.
Like almost every video we've done together, we have wine.
Wine.
We opened that bottle of wine, and there are people who are going to love the wine. My mom would have loved it. It would be
My
a
mom would have loved
holiday
it.
favorite at both of our parents' homes. We did not love it. We actually did not finish
We
the
did
bottle of wine.
not finish a bottle of wine. We left wine in the bottle. That's alcohol abuse.
Yeah, it's just never happened.
So we left Tucumcari 7 a.m. and hit the road. So this is probably not going to go well. Any thoughts?
Just remind me before I back up, based on yesterday when we drove 2 blocks with my coffee on the back of the car.
Noted.
That is a test I don't want to take.
Yeah. Okay. Setting camera down.
Has been saying, oh no, you need a house, you need a car, you need a job, you need to go to college. And our identity becomes our car, our house. And now the pandemic hit and people lost their cars, their houses, their jobs. And they don't know who they are anymore. That's my speech for this morning on my shot of coffee. I'm gonna need a bigger cup.
We're going to need a bigger cup. Check you out, manifesting some coffee for us.
It's even Route 66 coffee.
Route 66 coffee. I will not be singing Route 66 for you.
There's a U.S. post office as well.
Okay.
The sound of the train doesn't scare me at all. Like Bernie, did I just abandon the vehicle right here?
I think you just look at the post office. That's the post office. Is the doggy hauling?
Singing.
Yeah, he's singing at the train. That's so cute. I see him right there. He's hidden behind the gas pump.
Oh.
Little raggedy pup. Cute.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then we got in the car and off we went. Was that the coffee day? We got coffee at the hotel.
We got coffee at the hotel, and then we stopped at a little store to get coffee. And the guy had it had the pot. The coffee looked like it was not too old, but the cups looked like people had coffee in them and then gave them a rinse and put them back multiple times. We looked at the cups and went, yeah, that's not happening. So we then I got a can of coffee. You got a bottle of coffee.
Carbonated.
Carbonated. My coffee was carbonated. I did not know that my coffee was carbonated. It did not say, or I couldn't tell in my undercaffeinated way that it was carbonated. I shook. Subway! We're not ready for breakfast yet. Well, I mean, we are ready for breakfast, but breakfast right now is Jelly Bellies, a can of coffee, salt and vinegar potato chips. Don't tell me we don't follow a balanced meal. We got everything. We're heading to Arizona. Ooh, that's a fun name. Suzak's. I'm always stunned at this beautiful red earth. Why the earth is so very red. It's just beautiful. Wow. That brown house, those views must just be amazing. Very cool. Except they're right above the freeway, so that would suck.
But I think the sound wall, I'll bet you it's not that loud.
No, it's loud.
Is it?
Yeah. Sound travels up.
I might see a bathroom stop in our future after we get.
I would not be offended by a bathroom stop. You're definitely not in Kansas anymore.
Arizona.
Ah, and just like that, I'm back in Arizona. Did I get a prize?
No? Yes?
Oh, wait, no, the prize was for pushing the button.
Oh, yeah.
But it was funny.
Did you push the button? Are we
I
recording?
did push the button. I pushed the button.
Yay! I'll put both hands back on.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And then we got to Winslow, Arizona. Such a fun sight to see. I took her on my load in a flat. Oh, and there is a flatbed
There's a
Ford.
flatbed Ford.
And it's red. And there's a girl. And they put cheese on a sandwich that does not come with cheese.
Yes. So, okay, let's talk about fast food. Yeah. None of us eat fast food. We're all super healthy. We all eat nothing but organic salads that we grew ourselves, and there's always homemade dressing, all of that. We're all perfect. So the only fast food I ever get when I am on the road is from Carl's Jr., and it is their barbecued chicken sandwich, because it is a whole wheat bun, it is a barbecued chicken breast. Okay, it's grilled, whatever. I have no illusions about what the meat actually is. Barbecue sauce, tomato, and lettuce. They don't put cheese on it. And since I don't eat cheese, it's the one thing that I can order standard without having to worry about making a special order. Almost every fast food place in America is all about putting cheese all over everything. It's a thing. Can you tell? Arizona.
I'm annoyed. It is snowing. I got in the car to drive 29 hours to avoid snow. And it is snowing.
Diddy has strong feelings about snow.
Sorry.
It's not positive. So, Flagstaff, Arizona is way up in the mountains. It does snow here, obviously. We've got lots of pine trees, so it's very different from the xeriscape in the rest of Arizona.
What word did you just say?
Xeriscape?
What is that?
It is the natural
Thank you.
flora. I guess I used the wrong word there. For all I know, xeriscape's the wrong word.
No.
But look, we are going to Los Angeles, which means one lane over. Shawn Diddy is filing an official complaint with the travel advisory.
The weather gods, whoever runs
Weather
this
gods,
show.
whoever's running this whole
I
shebang.
mean, I was just this whole day. I mean, Monique got cheese on her sandwich. It's snowing in Arizona.
We got a chip on the windshield.
Oh my gosh.
Snowing in Arizona, cheese on my sandwich, chip in the windshield. This is a heck of a travel day.
She used to live there, so I think she secretly knew this was coming.
I did live in Flagstaff at one point in my life. I lived in Flagstaff. I've lived in Arizona twice and moved back from Arizona to California twice. The first time I moved to California when I was a kid, I was 11 years old, and then we moved to Tempe, and then we moved back to California when I was 14. And then I did another 3-year stint in Arizona as an adult. But that's a story for another day. So
Just
going
a
through
small
Flag.
teaser though, because as we're driving, she just randomly throws out, "Oh yeah, and I got hit by a car and broke my pelvis and had to learn to relearn to walk."
Yeah, that's my experience in Flagstaff, Arizona.
How old were you?
I was 12.
Yeah, isn't this so? You will learn more about Monique. But again, this is why, like, Girls Trip these are things I wouldn't. When would that have come up in conversation?
Yeah,
but I'm sure it changed your life. I'm sure it changed who you are.
I still, when I'm tired, I have a little bit of a limp.
And I love that you got to see Iowa.
Yeah.
Like that's where I.
And you got to see. One of these days, I'm going to take you up to San Luis Obispo. I have to actually introduce you to my aunt. You will love her.
Girls trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another girls trip coming.
So I'm thinking, ooh, Arizona, yay. I have left Iowa because it was 15 below zero for 2 weeks straight.
It's going to be warm and sunny.
I hate snow, by the way. Just hate it. And I know I grew up in it and I was Miss Iowa. I don't have to like the weather to have the crown. Yeah. Like I hate snow. I hate all things cold. So
by now you've probably figured out, yes, it snowed. We were driving in the snow in Arizona. Eventually, we got out of the snow and it rained, and then it sleeted, and then it hailed, and then it rained. Came home with an amazing turquoise and quite stunning landscape. As we near sunset, we generally quit at sunset driving because neither of us has terrific night vision, but we haven't decided if we're going to try to get all the way back to LA, even though that means another 5 or 6 hours of driving after doing it for, what, 12 hours? Yeah, so we'll see how this works out.
Continue.
We've now been driving for 12 hours and we're a little punchy.
11 because of the freaking hour we spent taking it easy.
Yeah, we were taking it easy in Winslow, Arizona, and that took an hour out of our... But here we are driving off into another sunset. We are undecided whether we are going to continue to try to get to California or we're going to call it a night just because neither of us has great night vision and we've already been driving for 12 hours and 11 and we're a little punchy.
We've been in the car for 12 hours.
We've been in the car for 12 hours. Did I say that sharply?
Possibly.
Possibly a little bit.
Maybe we need. And Monique did not get a nap today. Not that she takes naps normally. You just didn't sleep last night.
Right, but we're going to need wine. If we stop, we're going to have to get wine.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah. But let's get wine that tastes good this time.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Where are we in?
We are now in California, but I missed the sign again. But I mean, to be fair, it's dark now, so.
Pacific time zone.
We're in the Pacific time zone! I was maybe a little overly excited.
Well, it's been a lot. We've been in 3 time zones.
We've been in 3 time zones today. Jeez, that is a lot. Pool looks nice. We felt like we were being set up to be robbed. A door with a hole in it. It's been in live TV for
I think my shirt
decades.
was tore.